Big Al.
Hello, everybody, it's Big Al with some more content from War of Nova. So, I want to talk about on this video some changes, the new season that's going to be starting in 1 day, 4 hours, and 45 minutes. So, first, I'm going to talk about the changes. There was a patch notes released this morning, and a couple of the things that will be changing. The chats will start showing UTC time, which is going to be huge when you're trying to organize, you know, keep the planets when you're trying to take a planet or attacks, because as of right now, there is no clock inside the game. They're giving away a free battle pass for everyone going into this server. And the server is pretty much everybody currently in the game is going to be thrown into this one big server. Instead of having two or three servers that are, undermanned. So there's going to be action. The other thing, tablet and iPad support. I know a couple people personally that have not played this game because it wasn't tablet friendly. So now it will be, and there will be support set up for it. There's going to be some other bug fixes and performance improvements, and then they'll announce more updates as it goes. We are also getting standard emoji supports in the chat. So that's nice for the people that like to use emojis. So, now that's being said, we have this countdown here. And as you can see, here's the cutoff, and then the new season's going to start here. So, this is going to be really nice for a lot of us. It's definitely a different start time. I was thinking about streaming it, and I know it's still a newer game and doesn't have as many people, but that's going to be right around my dinner time, so unfortunately I won't be able to stream it. But as I said, everybody's going to be in the same server. It's going to be nice. This server wasn't too far along. I mean, as you can see, some teams have been able to move out of their regular start regions. There's a little bit of PvP going, but it's mostly friendly PvP. If we go to the season part of it, as you can see, we were only on chapter 8. And that just actually ended. I think chapter 7 just ended a few hours ago. So, this was a good thing for us to do some testing. So, now I'm also going to talk about what I'm going to do to start my season. Okay? Um, Sorry, I'm doing some testing with one of my ships, Dominus. So, to start, you're going to want to use certain ships for tiles. You're going to want to use certain ships for pathing to those tiles, connecting those tiles. So, I'm going to talk about some of the rare ships. The Radiant is actually one, it is mainly a siege ship. But, but, you have this skill here, Rapid Recovery. Against two enemy strike craft, it deals 150% standard damage. I'm at level 6. And then one allied recovers 60% hit points. So it does have some healing, and it's in round 1. Okay, now if we go up here, deals 100% standard damage and a 35% chance to stun for 1 round. And this goes off in round 1. So it does have some early round damage, some early round healing. With this craft, honestly, I would probably do up to, say, 30s or 40s with this one. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but people that remember Rise to War 1.0, when you have to connect a tile to take, you want to fill up as many as you can with 15s, 30s, 40s, while your other ships, your bigger ships, go for the bigger tiles. Emberhelm is going to be a free to play player's best friend because of this skill tree down here. Damage received. Okay. You have one allied unit recovers hit points, 3, 6, and 9. You also have this one that all strike craft recovers 30% hit points for first 5 instances of damage taken. So this is going to be a good skill. This is going to be a good ship. You do not want to max it out because then all you're doing is trying to heal and you're not getting any damage output. So a couple people have done testing, and for the people that spend 5 points in each of these is usually about the sweet spot, and the free to play players 7 is about the sweet spot for this, 7 or 8. I'm at 6 right now because I actually did throw some money at this for some of the gems to get some extra things. Here you got the frontal assault, which is good. You know, to me, this kind of reminds me of Durin's Blood. You have this one here, and then it also has a chance to deal an additional damage of the same amount. Up here, you're not really as important. Your capital standard damage, okay, it's useful if you're using these skills over here. But you also have this armor break, which brings down the defense for the enemy ships. So Emberhelm will be my bigger tiles. Hammerhead, I have had some success with as well, which I wish I had a little bit more time to do some testing on. Because right here, you have medium strike craft, 30%. You have the battle group gets plus 10 defense, and it's affected by leadership. Here, the important part here was skill damage plus 1.5% and gain initiative during combat. So this is the important part right here, is gain the initiative. And as you can see, mine's only a level mastery 1. But like I said, I have had some success. First 3 rounds, capital ship and allied strike craft damage. You have another one here after each standard attack. 50% chance to recover one allied target, 30%, and that's talking about the HP. And then you have another one here that has some healing as well as damage. So this is another ship. Because I only have it mastery 1, this is going to be, let me go back to the main screen. Like with the Emberhelm, if I'm taking 130s and 150s with the Emberhelm, Hammerhead, I'm going to be doing the 60s and 90s. Because for where I am at, the Emberhelm is a lot better. Dominus is a ship that I've been testing, which I'm currently testing, about doing bigger tiles, and he's only mastery level 1. Trying a couple different things. So here you have 60% chance to inflict stun on the first 5 rounds when it's maxed out. And it fires off individually each round, so it's not as a collective for the first 5 rounds. It's individual rounds. Here you have HP healing. Over here, defense and initiative, so it's a debuff against the enemy. Same thing here. Allied standard attack damage received minus 12%. Got a couple other skills here that are race specific with the Tyrannus strike craft. So those I won't use because that's not the bays that I'm going to be filling, the units. So that's good. As far as officers, depending on the ship, if your ship is doing a lot of early round damage, you're going to want the initiative. You're going to want officers that give you initiative, defense, some healing, because you want your early round damage to fire off before the enemies. You kill some of the enemies early, less damage they're going to do on the tiles. Darkfang is another one that I'm going to be trying out for tiles, which I've heard a lot of good things on. Here's a buff to power and initiative. initiative being the key. And then here you have one allied unit recovers X amount of HP each round. And then up here, you have enemy strike craft minus defense. You have a chance to inflict stun for 1 round, and this is only rounds 4 and 8. This one is one that I put in here because it deals a little bit of damage, but target's next attack deals much less standard damage. So it's another debuff. So I wish I could get them to respect 3. I mean, that this one is race specific, but you have the battle group's defense, and then that one's a damage dealt, but that's specific. But a couple that I'm going to use, Resolute, I am definitely going to use for just tiling purposes. Sylph, I'm going to be using for tiling purposes. I have actually done some testing with the Sylph, and it does do some damage decently early, but overall, it's got a little bit lower defense and things like that, so it's not a great tiling ship. I mean, I do have damage received here, but there's no real significant healing, or there's a little bit of early round damage like I was talking about. But and then this one has a chance to evade. But yeah, I can't see using it as tiles. So the Sylph, the Resolute are going to be tilers. I'm going to be using these 4 for tiles. This one for pathing and smaller tiles like 30s and 40s. The Cypher is an interesting one. You will be able to take tiles. It does have early damage, but you're going to take some losses. So this one I think I'm going to mostly just use for tiling, some smaller tiles, and then I will wait until I get 200, 230s so that I can start doing war games, which is mind sharpening from Rise to War on this ship. Again, you're going to be want to use. Where is it? There it is. You're going to be wanting to use officers that are gaining initiative, heal. You want your tilers to be doing early round damage, have initiative, and healing. Now, when you get to the bigger tiles, that's a different story. Then you start skilling them a little bit differently. You're going for their um, overall stats and things like that. But that's going to be the early game. Early game, all the ships are going to have 120 stamina, fuel. So, what that means is you need to be very selective on your bigger ships, your main ships. Let's take a look at how this Dominus did on this one. Okay, he fought the Resolute. He did take some damage. I'll read that report later to see what needs to be changed. So you need to be selective. You have these patrols here. Honestly, at this moment, they are useless. They give you some XP, they give you usually one of the resources, then they give you these credits. At this moment, I do not know what the credits are for. I'm assuming that's going to be a store or something in season later on. But as of right now, patrols are pretty much useless. They just block a tile. It costs the same amount of stamina to hit a patrol that it does to hit a tile. Okay, so we talked about the patch notes. We've talked about the ships that I'm going to be using and how I'm going to be building, and then with the officers. You have these challenges. The easy and the medium give you resources, which they are good to do early on. The hard are going to give you respect item, mastery item for that ship, and then the elite ones give you a mastery item and a Matham chest ticket, so you can open up the Matham chests. If you are just starting out, there's nothing wrong with starting in a good side um, faction and then switching to an evil side faction, because you are going to get the good side rare ships, and then switching to the evil, you'll get the evil side. I have just done, I started on the sovereign side, but what I've done is after I got all my rare ships, I am starting to open up chest on the Dominion side until I get those rare ships, because the more ships you have, the farther you can tile, the more tiles that you can connect to, all of that good stuff. So you need ships. As far as the store, you do just same as Rise to War. You get a daily surprise. Sometimes it's resources. I've gotten gold from it, which does help. Gold, they do have the first time double up when you buy the gold. And from my knowledge, this will reset at the start of the season. That's to my knowledge. I won't be buying any more. As you can see, I spent 35 bucks. That's half of what I spent on Rise to War in 20 some seasons on my Big Al account. So, yeah. Like I said, the Battle Pass they will be giving for free, which is nice because you're going to get gold, you're going to get some draw tickets, some speed ups. You're also going to get a bunch of officers. And this is just showing the pay line for the Battle Pass. You get some mastery items. So, that's definitely a big bonus that they're giving. Um, so yeah, that's my video. How I'm gonna start and everything like that. Make sure that you join a team. You're not trying to do this stuff solo. Um, there is possibilities of being able to. Um, let me go. Let me go to one of these. You could possibly do one of these solo, the smaller planetary stations. But you're going to need a lot of ships to do it. You're going to have your base close. And it does have a timer on it. When you hit it, just like in Rise to War, it will regain. Let me see if any of these have been hit. It will regain durability over time. But one of the nice things is right here, it shows 8 hours and 58 minutes until it is full. Where in Rise to War, we just had to manually calculate it in our heads. So it does generate slowly, so you could keep hitting and hitting and hitting. So that's nice. But that's my video. That's how I'm going to start the season. I'm hoping I have a decent spot when I start and I don't have Kato or Hank next to me because they will eat up tiles very fast. So that's my little video. As always, make the most out of what you got.